Welcome to the Your Limitless Leadership podcast with Jenny and Brent Widman. Here, we believe leadership isn't just about titles. It's about how you show up in every aspect of life. Whether you're leading a business, building a legacy as an entrepreneur, guiding your family, or striving to lead yourself first, this podcast is for you. Join us as we dive into real conversations about growth, decision-making, and the courage it takes to lead with purpose. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and equipped to become the limitless leader you are meant to be. This is Your Limitless Leadership podcast. Let's lead without limits. Welcome to Your Limitless Leadership podcast. And I am Mr. Brent Widman along with Mrs. Jenny Widman. And I got to tell you, man, today's topic, I'm excited about this one. And here's why. I'm going to turn it over to you in a second. But we went to a while back, we went to a seminar. We went to a gathering, whatever you want to call it. And we all had to stand up and introduce ourselves. So it was kind of a networking thing, get to know people, build business, all these types of things. And it was phenomenal. And it was pretty funny because Jenny got up and introduced herself, and one of the things that she said that struck a chord with people was, we opened our business about 6 months ago, and we are at capacity already. And you could see just heads turn and people shift in their seat and just look at her. And throughout that next couple days, it was pretty interesting to hear people ask us how we did it, what we did, where we're going to go, all these different things, and how they can do it. And that's part of what we want to talk about today, is how to bring that to you. I know we talk a lot about leadership and what have you on these, but I think there is a facet of you need to build your business on these as well. And I that's where I want to start. And I'm gonna turn it over to Jenny just to say a little bit about that and what, I guess, when you said that and what you saw and then what you saw throughout the next couple of days, what stood out to you or what resonated with you? Like where do you feel like people's disconnects or minds were at or what have you?
Yeah. And to put this into context, the event that we were at, it was a mastermind. It was people that were business owners. They, some people had businesses of 50, 60 employees. Some of them had businesses that were just starting out and they didn't even have their first client yet. But the room was full of 50 people at all various stages of running and operating their own business. And when I introduced myself, I didn't even realize what I said struck so many people the way it did. Because all Brent and I have ever known for the last 20 years of our lives is go out there and find business, go prospect, have a sense of urgency, meet as many people as possible, ask a million questions, and see if what we have fills the need of what other people are wanting. And when I said that we were at capacity, I didn't say it in a way that it's exciting. It's exciting because we are at this level where we are helping 40 individuals with one-on-one coaching. And now we need to figure out what is the best way to grow and go from here. So we wanted to talk today about just what it took to get those 40 clients, what we did. And every single person, I feel like, in that room needed to hear it. And so that's why we figured it struck a chord with us so much in that room that we may as well just talk about it so everyone can hear what we did. So
A lot of it was we got in our groups, 6, 7, 8 people, what have you. We kind of went around just to paint the picture for you a little bit. And we talked about challenges and we talked about anything that we needed help with our business and what was going well. And it was really interesting that for the most part, I mean, there was the anomalies with the 40 to 50 employees, though that wasn't the norm in this group. it was more your smaller businesses. And it seemed, I guess, in my eyes, the tables I was at, that it was more of a, I need help getting clients. At the bottom of it, that's what it seemed like it was. And as we went around the table asking or hearing people out and listening to their story, almost to a person, I would ask them questions about what are they doing to build their business? Do they know who they're going after? Do they, I mean, one person was even, she sends out a newsletter to the same 1,000 people every week, and she has done it for the last 5 years. And she's wondering why. And in that newsletter, at the bottom of it, she puts a call to action that says, if you want to book a call, click here. And I don't want to, you know what? It really struck me as I almost feel like people don't know where to go and what to do. So if it's somebody like that, Jenny, here's a question for you. If I'm a brand new business owner and I have this, if I'm a coach in any type of industry, or I'm trying to build a business, or I decide I have this thing that I need to go do, what would you say? Where would somebody start? Where should they start and what should they do?
So, the number one thing that you need to do is you need to write down 50 people in your network. These can be friends, they can be relatives, they can be neighbors, they can be your kids' parents, your kids' friends' parents. Um, they could be college people that you used to know, people that you used to work with. They could be basically anyone that you have a cell phone number for that you could text, or anybody on your Facebook that you could privately message that you know that would help you. And once you have a list of these people, then you just text them and you say, "Hey, it's Jenny. I know it's been a minute. Would love to catch up. I was actually wondering if you could help me. Just started a business. You are someone that I really respect, that knows a lot of people. Just hoping you can introduce me to more people, and would love to catch you for 5 to 10 minutes. When are you available? Today? Tomorrow? What's best for you?"
So my
And
pushback, hang on, my pushback,
mhm.
which is what we got from a lot of people, not pushback per se, like, nope, not going to do that, but it was more about uneasiness, shifting in your seat, what have you. How do they overcome that? Because we're asking people to make 50 to 100 lists, right? And just start reaching out to people. Why the pushback? Why do you think that's so hard? How do we overcome that?
you know, you're thinking it's so hard because you've never done it. You do 3 or 4 of these text messages and let me know if you still have pushback, because everyone is going to be, if they reject you, it's at least going to be a nice rejection. And more than likely, they're not going to reject you if you say a text message that I just said out loud. You're literally asking for 5 to 10 minutes of their time to catch up and then to, get some help. Most people want to help others, and you're not going after this list to sell them. You're not going after them. We're not, a finance company going to sell every single relative and friend that we know. We're not doing that. We are going out there and we are literally just asking for introductions of people that they may know. That's it. So if you're getting pushback, it's because you've never done it yourself. And I would say, confidence gets created when you know you are the best person that can help and serve another human. And if you're not going to do it, someone that's louder than you is, and they're not going to get the best service maybe because it's not yours. So I would just say stop being selfish and stop thinking selfishly all about yourself, because that's the only reason why you would be not texting.
Okay, you did two things I gotta touch on that you just said. Because you You are so good at what you do that you've done this so many times that it's like it's just easy, right? It is. It's you've created that. One of the things you said is you're so convicted in what you do. When you are convicted, when you know that you can help people, it doesn't matter. I don't know how to else to say it just doesn't matter because we know we're just trying to help somebody. We're not trying to sell them anything. We're trying to help them. And when you wholeheartedly believe that, you believe it. And the spin you just took on selfish, because most people think that if I'm asking and reaching out to people to ask them to give me business or send me to people, that I'm being selfish. But the spin you took on it was if you're not doing that, you're being selfish because you're not allowing people to have your service, to be part of what you're doing. That's a different spin on it, man. And I hope that opens people's eyes up to if you make it, if you're only thinking about you and your thoughts and you're uncomfortable and you're scared and you don't want to do it, you're simply not giving people the ability or the opportunity to work with you. You're just not. And that's a good way to put it, that is selfish. I did not think of it that way.
Well, you're being selfish because you're only thinking about yourself and your own emotions and your own scarcity mindset if you're not going to send that text. And so, in turn, it's wonderful to talk about what you're doing. And most people would introduce you to someone that they know because they know you're such a good person and have been. You have a reputation already. And so, you're just going after the first 10 people on your list are your best friends, your relatives, the only people that you're going to get those feelings for are probably number 46, 47, 48, because you're just trying to think of names. And by that time, you've had enough practice with this that it's gonna be fine.
To a T, as you say that, I'm just thinking about the people around that table. There were people that were student coaches, people that wanted to go on adventures with people that wanted to trek across the state, people that wanted to that actually worked in large organizations that knew people that have been doctors, people that like the wellness, and they have this group, they have this following, they have these followings and these networks and all these different things, yet for some reason it almost felt like they wouldn't ask for help or they wouldn't tap the market that is already around them. They felt like they had to go create a whole new market instead of just capitalizing on the people that are around them.
Yeah. Well, and what I would say to that, you asked me if I was just starting out and doing something and I don't have any clients and whatnot. Uh, that would look different. I mean, I still think everyone needs that fast 50 list, but if you have clients currently, like one of the guys that you just talked about, Kevin, who owns his own adventure company, he had four guys go on an adventure in the first quarter of this year with him. And when I asked him, have you ever, have you went to those people and asked for referrals? He said no. He didn't even have any type of follow up with these four people that went on a life changing adventure. And right there, like if I were to say the first thing that you can do when you're starting a brand new concept, a brand new business, and you have a couple of clients, you've impacted them somehow. And so go to them first and ask them, hey, I know that you've been on this adventure. I'd love to find like minded individuals like yourself. I'm sure you know a couple of people. Who do you know that would love to have a conversation just with what I do? I don't know if it's going to be for them or not, but it would be great to just talk to them about it. And that way, you have clientele right there that can give you warm introductions of just people. You don't ever want to ask them for people that want to go on an adventure. No one knows who wants to go on this adventure, but you want to ask, like, who are some of the most spontaneous people that you know? Who are people that love to go on vacations? Who are people that love, alone time, and need some need to take a step back and just have some downtime for themselves, who's always going, that you think if they just took a week for themselves that it would change their life, or who is a single male that you know that could go on vacation for a week, right? Like these memory joggers is what we call them, are the things that you'd want to ask, not who wants to go on my next big adventure, because people don't know that. But some memory joggers of the type of people you're looking to be introduced to. So current clients that have been on whatever you're doing. And then the second category is past clients. Maybe you did this and you coached somebody 3 years ago. Go to them. They know who you are. They know what you've done. They know what you have done for them. Maybe they didn't need coaching or whatever service you provide anymore, but they got a lot from it. They still have a lot of people that they can introduce you to. If there's one thing Brent and I did so well starting our business in January and being at capacity for one-on-one clients come July, it was tapping our network. It was asking for tons of introductions. It was going after people because we had specific people we can't even talk to for 2 years. So we had to make sure that we had to do it smart. And in turn, we just asked for more and more introductions of people that we could talk to get a brand new network under our belt.
Remember when I first started way back doing this, and one of my excuses was, well, nobody knows who we are in Minnesota. Nobody knows who it is. And my leader looked at me and she goes, then go build it. That was a domino effect for all the other excuses of, I don't know anybody, that doesn't work for me, I don't know how, who do I talk to? And it took, why I tell you that story is it took the equation of you have to know all these people. Like, and I got a couple examples here. I know Jenny's talking about when you already have a network or you do have a network, what have you. All of us have networks, right? Let's call it what it is. But let's say you're tentative on that as well. Go out and build your network. Go to the events, make phone calls, use LinkedIn, use Facebook, use Instagram, use all these different things, but don't just dwell on. There was people that were just dwelling on a newsletter, or they hid behind Instagram, or they weren't putting all the puzzle pieces together. And one of the things that, take this for what you will, I've always prided myself on, go out and build your name. Because the more people that know who you are, the better off you are going to be. And Jenny laughs at me at times because we office out of our house, and I say I sit in my hole and make phone calls. But there's phone calls, there's getting out in the community, and all I mean by that is ask about events. Like I literally just had this conversation this morning with Joe on a coaching call about what type of events are you going to, who are you getting in front of, because there is a difference between sitting in your office and cold calling and getting out and doing stuff. I just did a podcast here with Matt Aston earlier, and we kind of had the same conversation that when he started his business, it was him. It was him. That's it. And it's called GPRS. And what he did is he went out and talked to every builder, every construction company, everybody within this huge radius. He just stopped where they were and had conversation with them. If he didn't have a meeting on his calendar or a call or someone, he went out and did it. And he went from his first year in 2001, and this is a true testament. 2001, they did 100,000 in revenue. Last year, they did 220 million. That's 23 years. They grew $220 million because Matt said, I'm going to go talk to as many people as humanly possible. And that kind of correlates with what we're talking about here. That is something that's created. That is a muscle that you create, that it just becomes normal to who you are. And what I saw at this event is that it is not normal for people to go out and do the things that they need to do to build their business. They will hide behind email. They will hide behind newsletters. They will hide behind posting on social media and think that people are just going to call them with their credit card out and say, hey, I want to give you millions of dollars to do business with me, even though I have built no trust, no credibility, no validity, no nothing. I just have a business now, so I feel like you should work with me. And when you're listening to this, I hope this hits you in the face that if you are not where you want to be, what are the things that you are going to do when you get off of this to change that narrative about where you are and what you are doing? Because that is up to you. I don't care if you're a leader. I don't care if you're new. I don't care if you're the top salesperson. What are you doing?
So, because my take on it is the introductions, meet
Mhm.
people. You do a really good job of that as well. However, what would be your advice to somebody that to get them where they want to be to have this capacity problem to then grow to the next level?
We set a goal, is what we did. When we left, we figured out this is essentially what we did. We sat down as a business and we figured out where our revenue was in the moment. And we made a conscious decision that we are not going to rest. And I don't mean we're up all night. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Until we are back at the same revenue and then we can breathe. And until we fill that bucket, we do not move on to the next bucket. And again, straight transparency, that was hard for this guy. And if it wasn't for you, the other woman on this call, I would have tried to be all things to all people. And that's what I saw a lot of in this meeting as well, as they want to do podcasts and they want to get out there and and be all these things instead of just building this revenue bucket first to lead to the next thing. So it's slowing down to speed up.
Hmm.
And that's what I would say. What is going to be your closest to the dollar? What is going to build that revenue as much as you possibly can, so then you have it coming in, then you move on to the next thing that consistently builds it. Like the people that put this on have been in business for 7 years. We don't see year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We see year 7 and the things that they're doing now and the things that they've added in and the prices they charge and what have you. People don't see that. They just see, oh, they're so great and they're way out here. You can think about being 7 years out, what you want it to look like, but that's my best advice is to go out and get in front of as many people as humanly possible right now, set a goal of X amount, whatever that is for you, and go get it. And that's what you and I did. And then we went and got it. And now we can add the next thing or develop the next thing or put the next thing into existence without being stressed out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see the same thing, but
You hit the nail on the head there when it came to when we first, because, just to put in context for the people listening to this, January 15th, Brent and I went from making money to making $0 in one day. And so
good for
when
us.
we quit our company, we left a $3 million revenue team. We left a very healthy income. We left 25 team members. We left a lot, and overnight we went to $0 in income with a family to feed and a roof to pay our mortgage on. And it was a scary time. And my number one goal come January 16th was we have to make enough money to pay our bills month over month. Like I do not want to tap into savings or go, ask for help for to pay our necessities. And so that was the fastest way to cash, is what we knew was our one-on-one coaching clients and what we know how to do and to find them. So that's what we did. We did a lot of conversations, a lot of one-on-one introductions, and we just built from there month over month over month over month. And come July, which 6 months later, now we're at the point where it's like, okay, let's take a step back. One of the analogies that we heard at the meeting was the bow and arrow analogy.
Mm.
And when somebody, you know, does a bow and arrow, you pull the bow and arrow back where you think you're going backwards, but it really just catapults all the way forwards faster than you've ever imagined. And you don't really see why taking steps back is so vital and so important in your business until you're at the point where you're making those steps forward. And we're at this point to make the steps forwards, and we want to help others do the same. And so if you're listening to this, I know it's not necessarily what you want to hear, but you have to get out there. You can't hide behind a computer screen and hope somebody listens to that reel, and hope somebody listens to that podcast, and hope somebody sees your name on Facebook and Instagram. Like, you have to go out there and go to the live in-person networking groups. Ask for the introductions of people that you know, of who you want to be introduced to, and start talking about it and being about it. Let the word of mouth of others be your advantage, you know? So anyway, I had to say that because it's like, at the time we didn't realize that we had to take that step back, and we just had to fill our income so we could pay our bills. Now that we're paying our bills, it's like, okay, now we can look at the next step.
I remember sitting on the couch and your mom asked me, we were sitting there one night and before we left, or maybe it was right after we left, right in that range. And she says, "Aren't you worried?" I was like, no. I know how hard I work, and I know how much I've built this up over the years. And I know the amount of people that are out there that we can reach out to and have conversations with that want to help us out, because we have built that over the years. Which, if you are over, and I don't care what age you are, but if you're over X amount of age, you have those types of contacts. We just have to be willing to do your due diligence to do that. And that's kind of what you're saying here is, instead of thinking, I love that you said, I hope somebody's going to listen to the podcast. We didn't even start the podcast right away because we knew that we had to fill this thing before we started taking our time to do this thing. Now, it was the shiny object, just like putting videos online. That's the shiny object. And maybe that's your business, what have you, but build it first and then start going after the shiny objects. And we can literally, like, if you book a call with us, go to dnacall.com. And the reason we call it that is because we look at your sales DNA and your leadership DNA, and we figure out where you're at and how to help you. And right there, you're going to have a plan and a system around, okay, where do I go? What do I need to do? And how do I do it? And it's going to be laid out for you. And we know it works because we just did it. And I don't know how else to say that. But if I was to sit beside you and think of it this way, if Brent Widman or Jenny Widman is sitting beside you at your desk, would they go, that person's doing the deal? Or would they go, that's what you do all day? You might want to ask yourself that when you're listening to this. And if the answer is, maybe it's time to change a couple things. Maybe it's time to develop. Maybe it's time to get after it. Maybe it's time to do the things that you are uncomfortable with, or the things that you used to do that you maybe got away from, or the things you don't want to do that are too hard or seem awkward or weird, because that's where things start to happen. And I know it's cliche to say that's where you grow. I'm not talking about growth here. I'm talking about actually getting in front of people and giving them, we go back to what you said, giving them the opportunity to work with you. Some people are going to say yes. Some people are going to say no. Once you know that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just give them the opportunity. That's my rant, but I just, it drives me batty. Like those 2 days drove me absolutely crazy when I see the talent that is sitting around that table and the aspect of, oh, I should do that. And I told them, and I said, can I be blunt? Stop being a should head. Stop thinking about things and wanting to do things and not doing the things that you're thinking about and wanting to do, because it's not just going to magically happen. And I do think that's where people get lost at times, is they think some people are just gifted or built different or have a better network or know people or what have you. I used to think that too, until I was told to go build it yourself. And that changed a lot of things. I don't know how you feel about that, Jen, but you know
No,
my mentality.
and you can take this, everyone's going to listen to this a little
I agree.
differently based off of what you're going through personally. But I'd like to say that whether you're a business owner just starting out or whether you have a very successful team, you can use the same stuff when it comes to recruiting. You can use the same stuff when it comes to building your team. A lot of the things that we're talking about right now are the same struggles that salespeople have when they have low months. And,
Yep.
the first start that anyone needs to have is a fast 50, is networking events, is put your name out there, talk to people, share with people what you do, and not just on LinkedIn, not just on social media, not just hiding behind it. Like, stop hiding and put yourself out there. One of the things Brent does so well is every single week he has one lunch at least. I mean, sometimes it's four, but one lunch he goes on every single week. And it's not always just with clients, it's with past clients, it's just with friends. And it's just so that he makes himself get out there and talk to people and find out what they're going through. And people's needs change, people's seasons change in their life. And sometimes when they needed you back then, they don't need you anymore, or vice versa. They didn't need you back now then, and now they do. And you don't really get that until you stay on top of it with people. So whether you're recruiting and someone you might have wanted on your team 2 years ago and they just didn't become on your team for some odd reason, go book a lunch with them, go see them, say hi to them, see what's going on, and keep doing that day and week after week and see what happens for your business.
I'm with you. There's no secret. It's just consistency. And it doesn't matter, like you said, if you're new to a business just starting out or if you've been doing this for a long time, unless you are one of those anomalies that goes, I am good. I'm good where I'm at. I don't need to do any more. I don't need to recruit anymore. I don't need to develop my team anymore. I don't need to build my business anymore. I don't need to. Unless you're that person, when you listen to this, put your list together, because I have coached anywhere from market execs, CEOs that I've had do this list to years ago, brand new people that it doesn't matter where you're at. And that is the simple place to start. And start doesn't mean that you're starting brand new. It means that you're starting from today when you are listening to this. That's what that means. And that's when your business starts to enhance. That's when you start doing. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah. This is probably one of my favorite conversations, because there is nothing I love more. Honestly, people ask me, why do you do what you do, or and I just love it. I love the game. I love getting out and meeting people. I love the lunches. I love the coffees. I love the phone calls. I love the conversations. I love, 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 because it's so cool to just meet new people and understand. I love doing like this podcast with Jenny, and I love doing it with Matt earlier, because you get to hear the mind of somebody and understand the way they think and how, like, that's why you go do it. It's not to sell people. I hope this helps. Like, this is anywhere from 101 to master's level PhD class, because this is the stuff that's going to help you grow your business. You just got to be willing to get past your own crap. That's all it is.
I thought you were going to Ferdinand it and say, I love love.
You don't know what she's referring to? One of our kids' favorite movie is Ferdinand the Bull. And at the end, there's a line that says, I love love. I do. I love it. Thank you for being on here. And again, if you like what we talk about, love what we talk about, take the time and book a call. And again, I'm going to say it, we're not looking for everybody. We're looking for those 200,000 and above, because those are the people we can help. Those are people we can book calls with. Those are those leaders. Those are those top elite salespeople. Like, those are the people that we are looking for to help get to that next echelon, that need the help with things like this. And if you want to have a call and you want more, that's where it starts. Anything to add, Mrs. Widman?
DNAcall.com. Go there.
Yeah, baby. We are here with you and for you. Got this. Thanks for joining us on the Your Limitless Leadership podcast with Jenny and Brent Widman. We hope today's conversation inspired you to think differently about leadership, not just in your career, but in every part of your life. Remember, leadership starts with leading yourself first. It's about taking action, making bold decisions, and showing up with purpose. Now, it's time to take what you've heard today and put it into practice. Whether it's in your business, your community, your family, or your own personal growth, start leading without limits. You have the power to become the leader you're meant to be. Until next time, keep pushing your boundaries and leading with purpose.